of travel because the games are so close together. This is happy birthday, I presume, to Ian Turnbull, a young rookie, number 2 of the Toronto Maple Leafs, who is 20 years old, and what a brilliant future this young man has ahead of him, Bob.
No question about that at all.
All set to go now. Keon facing off against Andre Boudria. Number 24 is Dave Dunn, and number 8 is Bobby Schmatz for Vancouver. They're in the dark blue, the Leafs in their white uniforms, and the puck is shot in around back of the Vancouver net. Harry Smith cleared it. Rick Keogh is there. He's jammed against the boards. The puck comes loose to Dunn, and Dunn then cleared it into number 2, Jocelyn Gabriel, who gets it up to center ice. Boreas Salming to Dave Keon for Rick Keogh. Keogh closing in, a shot, and a good save by Smith. Keogh back to the blue line. Turnbull shot, back down. Gabriel comes up with it for Vancouver. Up to center ice to Boudria. Over here to Dunn. Dunn shoots. Oh, and that just missed the corner on a... That was a real hard shot by Dunn, and he nearly fooled Dunk Wilson, but he recovered in time. Keon back of the net is covered by Dunn. And Boreas Salming, an easy flip out to Rick Keogh. Keogh then up with Salming. Boreas Salming over the blue line, trying to cut in, centered it, and it goes to Ecclestone. Ecclestone hit Keon's skate, and it's cleared out by Dennis Kearns to Bobby Schmatz. Take the shot, then was checked. Play is called, and there's going to be a penalty here. Ecclestone came up with a high stick, and he may get a 10-minute misconduct as well. He said something to referee Lloyd Gilmore, and Ecclestone is in the penalty box. 2 minutes for sure, but I thought I detected a 10-minute misconduct. This game is coming to you from the Gardens in Toronto.
Hey, Cook baby, you made it.
Bring the beer?
Beer? You guys didn't say anything about bringing beer?
Ah, you dummy.
Hey, some beer, Chuck.
For years, guys like Chuck and his pals have been putting each other on over some Molson Export Ale. It keeps on tasting great.
Tim Ecclestone high sticking, and as he questioned the call, Lloyd Gilmore gave him a little bit more to go with it, so kind of a bad Christmas present for Timmy Ecclestone because it's going to cost him money.
Right, Bob. It's a 10-minute misconduct. We've played a minute and 11 seconds, so Earl Thompson will come over and sit with him for the 2-minute minor penalty and then take a regular turn, I would imagine, out on the ice. Ecclestone had taken over for Thompson on the Keon line. But now, Earl Thompson likely will get a regular turn. The puck is cleared down into the Vancouver zone. Pelican after it. Gary Monahan moves up, and it goes to the corner. He's knocked down heavily. The puck is underneath him, and that's where play will end. And Gary Monahan, very aggressive, and so is Mike Pellick. They're shorthanded.
Good play by Mike Pellick as he took out Barry Wilkins, left that puck there. Gary Monahan not expecting it and moving up a little late, but the feet went out from underneath. He was lucky he didn't get hurt. He went into those end boards pretty hard.
Sure did. Don Lever with Dennis Verbegaard playing on the right side. Verbegaard, number 10 for Lever, intercepted by Jim McKenney. He shot it out to center ice. That's Jerry Korat, 27, back to Wilkins, over to Daly. Stopped by Brian Glennie. Daly then takes it away from him and goes back at center, clearing it to Wilkins. Wilkins of Vancouver clearing it up at center to Lever. Lever trying to go around Glennie. It's brought in by Daly. Dropped it back to Verbegaard. There's a shot, and that's wide. Harry Monahan can't get it out. Barry Wilkins into Korab. Korab to Dennis Verbegaard and went out over the blue line. Barry Wilkins. Cleared pass to Daly. Daly to Verbegaard. Verbegaard on the right wing is checked by Monahan after being slowed down by Glennie. And Monahan just shoots it down the ice. There's 55 seconds left of the penalty. As Vancouver with number 10, Dennis Verbegaard, up at center. A pass over here to Korab. Korab goes in on the left side into the corner. Stops there. Back to the blue line to Wilkins. Wilkins back to Korab. Back to Wilkins. He shot it high over top of the net. Ryan Glennie shoots it out by Mike Pellick down the ice after Daly gave him a shot with an elbow. Harry Wilkins over to Jerry Korab. with 23 seconds left in the penalty. Korat can't get to the leaf line. It's brought over now by number 19 offside, Lemieux. And that'll be brought outside the blue line.
Here's Bob Daly. We get an isolated look as Mike Pellick going for the puck, and Pellick wound up second best on that exchange.
17 seconds left in the penalty to Ecclestone. His first penalty, a minor penalty for high sticking. He still has to serve a 10-minute misconduct. But the Leafs will be back at full strength unless Vancouver scores in the next 14 seconds. Up over the line for Vancouver, a clearing pass, number 23. Gary O'Flaherty a shot, and Doug Wilson got a piece of it with his glove and deflected it over the glass. And there's a youngster who has a Christmas present.
I tell you, that was a blistering shot from the point. Wilson very fortunate to get his hands up. Just over his head, Gavremont getting a real blast away high over the net into the end.
7 seconds remaining in the penalty. Number 19 is Lemieux, and he gets the draw. Gavremont moves up with a hard drive. He scores! Gavremont from inside the blue line. Caught the short side by Duck Wilson.
Wilson didn't see that one at all as he was screened out in front, and we get a look at it again. Puck right back to the point of that face-off, and that hard blast coming through there. And just as he pulled the string, the Leaf winger skating in front of him, and as you say, he beat him on the short side, and that is his 6th goal, and all of them came in the power play.
Vancouver goal scored by number 2, Jocelyn Gavremont. Assist, number 19, Richard Lemieux. The time, 3:07. Jocelyn Gavremont for Richard Lemieux.
3:07. Gavremont from Lemieux, and Bob, that's another example of getting the face-off.
Well, he drew it right back. Rather odd to see Paul Anderson in there taking that face-off.
Comes back to Turnbull, a shot right out, scores! Ian Turnbull from the blue line. There's another face-off, and he scores on his birthday.
Well, we're going to get a look at that again. Normie Ullman getting it back to the point directly from the face-off, and another screen shot. Smith is down on his knees, and it still sneaked through. Here we see Smith already down. And I don't know whether he was screened on that one or not, but that sneaked right through his leg.
Scored by number 9, Norm Ullman.
Well, they're
Assist,
giving it to
number
Ullman.
2, Ian Turnbull. The
Turnbull
time,
got the assist.
3:22. Norm Ullman from Ian Turnbull.
3:32 is the time of the goal by Ullman from Turnbull, who gets the assist. Ullman got the goal. Apparently it hit deflected off him who was standing in front. But it was again, Bob, the same case of a face-off.
The reason I said it looked like it was a screen shot because Smith was down anticipating the shot, and Ullman must have just changed direction of that puck enough, but it did go through between his pads.
And Normie Ullman continues on his merry way, his 15th goal of the year, and what a comeback he's had this year. As the score is now tied 2-2 with 16 minutes, 21 seconds remaining in the second period. Ullman has it in Vancouver territory. Ellis wrapped one, it came right to the line. Ullman tipped it back to Ellis again. Ellis tried to get his backhand away. Henderson was knocked down. There's Ullman picking the puck off. Normie Ullman controls it. A pass to Henderson, and he's offside. Just by a whisker, but he was offside. Just one step. And the face-off will come back out over the blue line. 16 minutes and 1 second remaining in the second period. It's a 2-2 tie. Ullman's 15th goal from Turnbull. And as we've mentioned, it's Ian Turnbull's 20th birthday today. Bob Neely moves up into Vancouver territory. Neely nearly hooked the puck loose. Sittler tried to keep it in. Lanny McDonald gets control of it. Hands it right to Barry Wilkins. Barry Wilkins and Orland Kurtenbach. He's checked. Outside the blue line is Mike Lampman. Lampman just shoots it into the corner. And Mike Pellick is back there for it. Lost the puck to McSheffrey, and then Sittler comes in to help him out. Pulling away from Orland Kurtenbach is Inge Hammerstraw. Heading it to Sittler. Over the line. Sittler took a shot. Gets it again. Goes back to the net. Trying to center it. Hit by Daly. It goes to Hammerstrom. Hammerstrom shoots. It's right in front of the net, and Gary Smith picked that off with his left glove. Good save by Gary Smith.
Had to be sharp on that one as Darrell Sittler was coasting out front. And a great move by Hammerstrom here as he skidded backwards, got himself in a position at a tough angle. But watch this puck come up off his pads, and then he takes it with his catching hand. But there's Sittler waiting for him to drop it.
They're just announcing here in the Gardens a birthday of Ian Turnbull. Score is tied 2-2. 15 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the second period. Sittler with Lanny McDonald and Inga Hammerstrom. It goes to Lanny McDonald. He shot it wide. It goes to the far wing where Mike Pellick took a whack at it. It deflects to the corner, as you saw, and back of the net, Andre Boudrias, number 7 of Vancouver. A long pass, back by Bob Neely. He shot it back, but in shooting it into the Vancouver zone, he shot it over the glass.
Number 24, Dave Dunn, 25-year-old from Moosomin, Saskatchewan. Last year, he won the Outstanding Defenseman Award in the Western League. Coach Billy McCreary's got him up playing the wing.
Well, he's got two of them, hasn't he? One from Chicago, Jerry Korab, and now we have Dave Dunn. And it's back of the net there for Gavremont. Jocelyn Gavremont gets it out to Dunn at center. He gets it to Andre Boudrias. A long shot off the boards. The rebound, McKinney. Over for Rick Keogh. It's Kearns keeping it in. Then Jim McKinney stole the puck and starts down the ice. At center. Over the line. Closing in. Shoots. And Smith stopped that. Harry Monahan after it. It goes loose. Andre Boudrias carrying it back to Jocelyn Gavremont. And Gavremont starts out. Gavremont just shoots it down the ice past Andre Boudrias. Jim McKinney will go back and touch it, and it's icing called against Vancouver. We're going to have a look at the hockey scoreboard, and there you see it. And Detroit is leading Boston now 3-1 in the second period. Montreal still has a 3-0 lead over Buffalo. And Philadelphia, Chicago scoreless. Pittsburgh and the Rangers scoreless. And St. Louis also. All set to go. The puck goes to Daly. Bob Daly, number 3, clears it over to Barry Wilkins. Wilkins clears it up to the blue line. Up at center ice goes Lever. Lever's long shot off the board. After it was Dennis Bevergaard. Doug Wilson went flat. And it's Keon trying to set up Keogh. It's shot back into the lead zone offside. There were two Vancouver Canucks trapped in there. Verbergaard and number 27, Jerry Korab. 13 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the second period. Dunk Wilson, formerly of the Vancouver Canucks. And they are treating him too lightly tonight. Ryan Glenley. Back of the Maple Leaf goal. And we'll see Keon take it. Keon hands it back to him. This seems to be the way they bring the puck out. McKinney to Keon. Keon up at center over the red line. Going up over the blue line with Monahan. He's over the line. Drops it back to Glennie. Over to McKinney. Jim McKinney takes a shot. It's high. And over top of the net into the corner. Bob Daly feeds Lever. Lever at center. Gets by Glennie. Over the blue line. And it's cleared out. Rick Keogh just failed to break away. Barry Wilkins was trapped. Keon then gets left it there for Keogh. Keogh and McKinney. Rick Keogh, he's got by Daly. Tripping penalty. Giving the Leafs the advantage in manpower. With 13 minutes, 14 seconds remaining in the second period. The score, the Vancouver Canucks 2, Toronto Maple Leafs 2.
Let's have a beer. Okay, but let's go somewhere different. All right,
We'll go somewhere new and exciting.
Okay.
How about Clancy?
Nah. The Dukes is better.
Let's go to the Duke. Let's go to the
Let's get walking somewhere.
How about the Horn?
No, I got a place. Okay.
Guys like Jake and the boys haven't always agreed on where to drink their beer.
Hey, you guys were late tonight. How come?
But they do agree on Molson Export Ale. It keeps on tasting great.
Some beer.
Bob Daly for tripping as he moved out. Figuring Keogh for the inside, and that's a bad penalty. Could have played the body a little easier and got a piece of him, but he went over the stick.
Leafs have the advantage in manpower, but Vancouver gets the draw, and it's Bobby Schmatz getting it out to center. Ian Turnbull at the blue line. Borja Salming. Salming back to Turnbull, and Turnbull starts out. Up the center. And it's flipped along the boards. Boudria stopped by Salming, and Army Elman goes over the line with Paul Henderson. They're closing in. Ronnie Ellis trying to get in front of the net. Elman takes the look, still takes the look. Still has it. Goes into the corner. Henderson's there with him, and the puck finally goes to Boudria. Boudria of Vancouver coming up the center. Gets it over the leaf line. Doug Wilson came out and poked it to Borja Salming, and Salming has to go back to the net. Borja Salming up for Henderson. Henderson can't get by Schmatz, as he and Andre Boudria do a great job of killing this penalty. Henderson then to Ellis. Ellis down the right wing, over the blue line. Back for Salming. Salming had it, hit Schmatz. There's a race for it. Schmatz over the blue line. Takes the shot, and Doug Wilson stopped that. Beat around on the boards to the other wing. Henderson let it go, and it slides all the way to center ice. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Vancouver with unable to get away. Elman comes back, and he lost it to number 9, Don Lever, and the Vancouver Canucks are outplaying the Leafs at this point. Borja Salming back to the Maple Leaf net. Starts out with a pass to Elman at his own blue line. Up with Ellis at center. Over the blue line for Ellis. Ellis to Turnbull. Turnbull goes into the hard drive. That was stopped by Smith on his shoulder. Borja Salming couldn't keep it in. Down the ice comes Don Lever. Play is called. It was pushed ahead with a glove. We have 3 seconds left in the penalty. There you see the doorway in which the penalized player, Daly, will come out of in 3 seconds. 11 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the second period. And it's a 2-2 tie. Number 23 is Jerry O'Flaherty. Here's Inga Hammerstrom, number 11 for the Leafs, trying to set up Sittler. Daly's back on the ice. Sittler lost his stick. Back comes Vancouver's Lever over the blue line with O'Flaherty. Centered it right front to Daly. Shoots, he scores! Daly shot it right between Wilson's legs, and Vancouver go ahead 3-2.
And a great play by Don Lever as he pulled Mike Pellick back and slid it all the way through. And Daly, in one motion, whistled it right through, dunked Wilson's leg. Here it is from the low angle. Watch this pass all the way across the rink. Great move by Daly on that setup by Don Lever.
Bob Daly. Assist number 9, Don Lever, and number 6, Dennis Kearns. Time 9:01.
9:01 is the time of Daly's goal from Lever and Kearns. And the puck is brought to the blue line. Up at center ice again, only to have Mike Pellick in there with Lanny McDonald. He missed the check from O'Flaherty. Barry Wilkins shoots the puck into the Leaf zone, and it's Mike Pellick. Unable to get it out, then Inga Hammerstrom again. Here's it up at center. Lanny McDonald for Darryl Sittler. Sittler shoots! Oh, Gary Smith stopped that. Bob Neely a drive, and Gary Smith stops that and holds it out. And for a face-off. Vancouver 3, Toronto 2. 10 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the second period.
Gary Smith looked pretty sharp on those plays as we see Billy McCreary behind the bench. But you know, on Thursday in Philadelphia, he wasn't even in the game, but he managed to pick up a double minor and a game misconduct for leaving the bench to participate in a wild brawl against the Flyers. As a matter of fact, he took on Bobby Taylor at center ice, and they tell me it was a classic battle.
I think we saw a classic battle during the intermission with Goofy. Up the ice now, number 18, Mike Laplin of Vancouver. Keon got back to McKinney. It hit Glennie's skate over to Rick Kehoe. Kehoe then for Dave Keon. Keon busting in, and he shot it across the goal mouth. Ends up along the boards. Orland Kurtenbach left it there, and it's cleared by number 6, Dennis Kearns. Down the ice, Brian Glennie lost it. And then back for it is Gary Monahan, number 20. Monahan at his own blue line. Up at center over the red line. In over the blue line. Into the corner. Kearns knocked him to the boards. The puck, as you can see, is against the boards with number 26 there, McSheffrey. Saturday, December the 29th, Atlanta. Be here in Toronto on the Ontario Network. Play underway. Islanders at Vancouver on the BC Network. It goes into the corner. There's going to be a cross-checking penalty against Vancouver. That goes to number 26, Brian McSheffrey. And the Canucks are running into some foolish penalties here as they lead 3-2. This is Hockey Night in Canada from the Gardens in Toronto.
Choice. Choice. Choice is what great hospitality is all about. Choice is what Molson Pleasure Pack is all about. 12 Molson Canadian Lager beer and 12 export ale. Together in a money-saving pack. For your party, get the good choice in refreshment. Molson Pleasure Pack. It helps make parties popular.
Brian McSheffrey cross-checking as he caught Dave Keon across the back. A little action going on in the Vancouver end, and he puts his team at a disadvantage.
Vancouver get the puck down the ice, and it's Jim McKinney going back for it, number 18, into the corner. Clears it back for Dave Keon. Keon back of the goal. Now clears it up to Rick Keogh. Keogh at his own blue line over the red line at center. To Gary Monahan. Monahan goes back to the net. To McKinney, and he shot it wide. The rebound off the boards. Picked up by Barry Wilkins, and he shoots it down the ice. 8 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the second period. 3-2 Vancouver. Darryl Sittler to his own blue line at center with Keon. Just shoots it in. Goes after it. The puck is loose. Rick Keogh didn't see it. And Bob Daly for Bobby Schmatz over the blue line. Schmatz stops. Had it along the boards. And Gary Monahan comes up with it. There's 58 seconds left in the penalty. Monahan to center. His shot off Daly. Monahan gets a hold of it. Centered it right across the goal mouth. Rick Keogh a shot. Another try. And he tried to set up Keon, and it's knocked out to center ice by Boudria. Darryl Sittler. Unable to get over the blue line. Jim McKinney's check. Now then Sittler. Shoots it right out of Barry Wilkins' stick. Wilkins over to Schmatz over the blue line. Made it back for Daly. Daly just shoots it into the Leafs zone, and the Leafs seem to be completely disorganized at this point as they trail 3-2 and have the advantage in manpower. Down for Paul Henderson over the blue line. Henderson had it hop over his stick, but Keogh keeps it in. Takes a shot. Henderson was right there. Ullman was bowled over. And the puck goes down the ice. McSheffrey is back out. And so Vancouver will be called for icing. We have a face-off in the circle to the left of the Vancouver net.
Bill, we'd like to say hello to an old friend of Red Kelly's who we see on the screen there, Ham Thompson of Port Dover, who just recently celebrated his 93rd birthday.
There's the time to play, 7 minutes and 23 seconds in this second period. Number 9 out there is Don Lieber. And number 27, Jerry Korab is going over to the bench. No doubt he needs another stick. And he's getting it. Jocelyn Guillermo, along with Dennis Kearns on the defense. And that's Dennis Verbegaard, number 10, on the right side. And from the draw, Vancouver with Kearns getting it up on the wing. Salming kept it in. Then Henderson a shot, and that was right on. And Smith stopped that. Now it's Gavremont gets it over to Verbergaard, then up to Lieber to Korab, and it's stopped by Boreas Salming. Now then, Normie Elman to Paul Henderson going into the alley. Henderson shoots it off the goalpost. He whacked that one right off the post. Elman tried to get it back to Salming, and it's stopped by Gavremont. Gavremont's pass at center over the line to Lieber, and Lieber left it there. Henderson can't get out. Henderson then feeds it for Ellis, it's behind him. And it's Kearns right on to Boreas Salming's stick, up for Ellis. Kearns couldn't get by center ice. Elman then to Henderson, who flipped it into the corner. And Gavremont just shoots it around on the boards for Verbergaard. Verbergaard's pass comes out over the blue line. Up for Lieber. Lieber up over the leaf blue line, trying to go around Boreas Salming, who stopped him. Korab shot it. Salming stopped that. Up for Ellis too far. And it's cleared by Barry Wilkins now. It's along the boards, and it goes into the crowd, and Tim Ecclestone comes back out after serving his misconduct.
So performance means doing a little extra.
All set to go for the face-off. Goes back inside the blue line. Mike Pellick cleared it out for Inga Hammerstrom, and it's picked up by Darryl Sittler for Lanny McDonald over the line. And he was checked, and it's picked off there by number 19, Lemieux. Lemieux comes back for Vancouver at center. O'Flaherty can't get over the line, and Sittler comes back over the blue line. Sittler back to Hammerstrom. He's going right in his shot. And he shot it by the open corner. Sittler can't get a hold of it. Bob Neely after it. And it goes down the ice. And it's picked off by Mike Pellick, and it's icing called against Vancouver.
And Lanny McDonald, pretty good check on number 19, Richard Lemieux, as he took him to the ice. And I think this is the kind of thing that Red Kelly'd like to see all his wingers doing. You know, that's the proper way to take your check out of the play.
And there, of course, on Saturday, December the 29th, the Atlanta, Toronto on the Ontario Network, the Islanders at Vancouver on the BC Network. And from the face-off, the puck went to Bob Neely, knocked it back of the Vancouver goal. Trapped there by Barry Wilkins. Wilkins gets it over on the right side to Bob Daly. Daly back to Wilkins. Wilkins coming to his own blue line. Pass over to Daly, and Daly takes the long shot wide of the net. And it's Neely going back to the goal. It was intercepted there by Lampman. Lampman to Orland Kurtenbach. Tried to center it. And Pellick fell in front of it. There's Lampman a shot. And number 26, Ryan McSheffrey, just missed. The puck is out in front again. A shot. And that was wide. And Wilkins a drive. Mike Pellick knocked it down. Falls on it. Also into it was Mike Lampman. Sticks come up a little high. And there's high sticking penalties to Pellick and Wilkins. Double penalties. Pellick and Wilkins will get the gate. That means the teams will play five aside. 4 minutes and 49 seconds remaining to play in the second period. Vancouver leads the Leafs by a score of 3-2.
It's all started in a corner with Darryl Sittler taking Brian McSheffrey out. The sticks came up a little high there, and it continued from there. Here's the call.
For Mike Pellick, 2 minutes for high sticking. The time 15:11. For Vancouver, Barry Wilkins.
15-11, 4:49 remaining in the second period. Vancouver Canucks lead the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-2. And Jim McKinney's coming out now along with Errol Thompson and Brian Glennie. There's the penalties. Pellick and Wilkins high sticking.
Bill, that's the first bit of ill feeling we've seen in the game. There's been a few little checks in the corner, but nothing serious. Maybe we'll get something going.
And I thought Inge Hammerstrom had the best chance of the period there when he went in alone. And he missed the open side of the net. So it's Andre Boudria out there with Bobby Schmatz, along with number 6, Dennis Kearns, and Jocelyn Gavremont. For the Maple Leafs, it's Jim McKenney getting it over for Brian Glennie. Glennie gets it out over the blue line, goes after it, gets up the center to the Vancouver blue line, just shot it in, and Gary Smith left it there for Kearns over to Gavremont to Schmatz. Leafs have Earl Thompson and Gary Monahan out there along with McKenney and Glennie. Gavremont in the corner, up on the right wing for Schmatz. He handed it right to Glennie out for the Thompson, and he shot it way wide, and it deflected off the boards and went up into the crowd, and the face-off will come outside the Vancouver blue line. 1 minute and 28 seconds left in the penalties, and oddly enough, the players, Pelican and Barry Wilkins, both wear sweater number 4. Andre Boudria facing off against Monahan, and he got the draw back to Gavremont. Gavremont just gets rid of it out over the blue line, and Jim McKenney trapped it there at center. He's chased back by Boudria all the way well into his own zone, and Gary Monahan has to try and bring it out. He's checked by Boudria. Monahan again. He goes back to the goal, then gives it to McKenney. Jim McKenney straight up the ice. A pass ahead to Earl Thompson at center. Over the line for Monahan. Monahan tried a back pass, and Gavremont comes up with it. Ahead to Bobby Schmatz. Schmatz at center. Over the blue line. A nice play. Tried to go around. Glennie was hooked. And Glennie will get a hooking penalty. No question about that. You saw Schmatz make his move. It looked to me, Bob, as if he'd beaten him, and he hooked him, and that was it.
Look at it from the low angle. As Schmatz takes him to the outside, and we can just see it on the tail end. Well, he did a little bit of an Academy Award there, too, to help it out, but Ryan Glennie for hooking.
Ryan Glennie for hooking.
Ryan Glennie gets the gate with 3 minutes and 41 seconds remaining to play in the second period. So now the Leafs are playing 2 men short. Vancouver 1, so the number of players, as you can see, we just keep the goalkeeper in there. You'll have 5 men to 4. And it's Ian Turnbull, Dave Keon, and Jim McKenney. Vancouver with Andre Boudria over at the bench. Now he comes out. Gavremont remains out there. So does Dennis Kearns and Schmatz. Vancouver leads 3-2. Here's Gavremont getting the puck at the point. He passed it over here to Kearns. Kearns, number 6, back to Gavremont. Gavremont shoots, and he shot wide. Ian Turnbull to Dave Keon. Keon can't get it out. Turnbull tries to bring it out. Does. Out over the blue line. Down the right wing. And it's McKenney. Chase back to his own blue line. Ian Turnbull again. Turnbull and Keon going together over the blue line. A shot by Turnbull. Keon gets the rebound. Tried to set up McKenney. Dave Keon fighting for it again. Centered it out. Gets it. Back to McKenney. McKenney still has it. Kicks at it to Keon. Keon back to McKenney. Over to Ian Turnbull. They're closing in. Centered it. Oh, Keon failed to put it in the open side of the net. Andre Boudria gets it up to Wilkins. A long pass to Schmatz. And it's called back. Offside. The pass coming from inside the blue line. Over the red line at center. And Barry Wilkins didn't believe it.
Now maybe we'll get a chance to look at that again. Schmatz on the tear. We're going to look at it from the end zone, and you can take a look at it for yourself. Now he picked it up a little bit late because Schmatz was right at the center ice red line, and this was what Wilkins was arguing about, that he picked it up behind that center ice red line. We couldn't get it enough in the replay. I'll tell you, Schmatz isn't arguing too much. It's Wilkins that's doing all the arguing.
That's because I think he believed that he was outside the blue line when he made the pass. And had he been outside the blue line, then Schmatz can take it over the red line.
Well, it's pretty tough. You know, that linesman, he was parked right on that center ice red line.
That's right. Well, and on the blue line was the most important one because that's where the pass originated from, and Wilkins felt that he'd crossed it. But according to the linesman, no, because the faceoff is coming back inside the Vancouver blue line with 2 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in the second period. Vancouver 3, Toronto 2, 57 seconds remaining in Glennie's penalty.
Here we look at it again. Now you can see
he
where
was behind
Wilkins
it.
was. He was a good 5 feet behind that blue line.
No question about that one, Goldie. Now here's Barry Wilkins up over the blue line, coming up at center, a long shot, deflected into the corner. Evergard was given a bump, then Daly a shot. It came to the blue line. Wilkins keeps it in. McKinney knocked it down, picks it up, gets to the boards, knocked it out to center ice. Earl Thompson wrapped it down the ice into the Vancouver zone, and Daly knocked Earl Thompson down. That gets a rise out of the crowd with 2 minutes remaining in the second period. 3-2 Vancouver. Barry Wilkins to center. Shot the puck in. Harry Monahan handed it to Dennis Beauregard. Back to Daly. Daly back over to Korab. A shot. He scores! Number 27, Jerry Korab, caught the short side again.
We're going to take a look at this replay and watch. Number 9, Don Lever and McKinney in front of the net. Bob Daly throwing it back over on his backhand. Now here's where all that action comes in front of the net as they skated over in front. Number 9, Lever screening all the way, and it beat him on the short side. Here it is from the low angle again.
Jerry Korab. Assist, number 10, Dennis Beauregard, and number 3, Bob Daly. The time, 18:17.
18-17, Jerry Korab's fourth of the year from Daly and Beauregard. And it's 4-2 now in favor of Vancouver as the Leafs try to get back into this hockey game. Vancouver with Lever. Hit by Bob Daly. It goes back to Mike Pellick. Pellick up for Henderson, then over to Ullman. Ullman along the board. He's checked by Beauregard. And then Mike Pellick gets it up to Ullman. Ullman at center. Over to Ellis. Ellis tried to cut around. Korab gave him a shove. Korab cleared it back to the net. Into the corner. Gavremont and Henderson fight for it. Gavremont comes up with it. Less than a minute to go in the second period. 4-2 Vancouver. Shot down to center ice. Mike Pellick turns. Up for Ullman. Ullman just shoots it around on the boards. Back of the net. Picked off there by number 6. Dennis Kearns up. Then it's intercepted. Neely a hard drive, and Smith stopped that. Normie Ullman in along the board, centered it, and it's Gavremont knocking it to the corner, and finally Vancouver shoot it down the ice, wide of the net. Bob Neely goes back to touch it, and it's icing with 25 seconds left. And now in our second intermission, which will be coming up shortly, we'll have Babe Platt, Variety Club, the Hockey Scrapbook, and of course Santa Claus will be along to analyze the second period. There's 25 seconds remaining before the intermission. Vancouver 4, Toronto 2. And this is an important face-off, Bob, in the Vancouver zone. Darryl Sittler facing off against Andre Boudria. Let's see who gets the draw. This will be important. It comes back to Neely. Neely got his shot, but it was weak and wide. And Bob Daly gets it up to Andre Boudria. Neely had him in the clear. Boudria went after it. Neely hooked it away the first time, then Dunn centered it. It rolls right on the goal line, and then it's knocked off to the wing by Lanny McDonald. Comes back to the blue line. Another shot. Wilson stopped that. Goes into the corner. Sittler up for Lanny McDonald, and there goes the bell to end the second period.